morning, Boerne. Thanks for tuning in. This is Jeff Flinn. I'm the managing editor at the Boerne Star newspaper. We're on the Boerne Brew this morning. Thanks for tuning in 103.9 FM. We appreciate you coming out and listening. We bring you people, talk about events, talk about situations, and all kinds of things. We got situations and a person here today. I've got Allison Peterson here from the Kendall County Women's Shelter. Thanks for coming in, Allison.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Before I came, I looked up and got some stats, and it just blows my mind. Every minute, 32 people experience intimate partner violence in the United States. It's unfathomable.
Yes.
1 in 4 men in the United States has endured severe physical violence from an intimate partner. Over 47% of women have encountered contact sexual violence, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetime. We were talking earlier, Allison, when most of us, like me, we think of women's shelter, we think, a woman got beat up and she ran there to get out away from her husband. And that's true in some cases, and it's not true in a lot of others.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about your intake process. First of all, how long have you been there, Allison?
So I was incredibly blessed to join the Kendall County Women's Shelter in March. So I've been there over a little 90 days. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm excited to be here. Our administrative office is located at 930 North School Street. Like I mentioned, I'm the new executive director as of March, and we actually have a whole new administrative team.
Right.
So I really encourage people to stop by at 930 North School Street. We're there Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Meet us, talk to us about the needs.
And tell us about the treasures.
Yes. So
am I right?
Directly next door, we have our Fabulous Finds Thrift Store.
That's it. Fabulous Finds.
Fabulous Finds. And they do incredible. I joke that I'm not allowed to go over there because I can't leave without purchasing something. So I highly encourage the community to go over there and shop instead of me. There really are some fabulous finds. As far as the shelter goes, you're right. You think about physical abuse. And yes, it is physical abuse, but it is way more than that, too.
Psychological, there's emotional, social, financial.
Yeah. Absolutely. Religious. There are so many ways that people are impacted by a domestic abuse relationship.
I did an article when I worked in another paper, talked to a woman who started her own business, and it went from her starting a business over to what she came through to get there. And she came through a situation. She said it took her 7 times
Absolutely.
To get away. 7 times she planned to get away from her abusive situation. Absolutely. And she couldn't because he had all the money. He had the car. Everything was locked up. Everything was out of her realm where she couldn't.
Right.
One night she said, that's it, and fled. And hers was not physical at all. So that's not what it's about. It's about abuse of any kind.
Yes. And each story is so different and so personal. Right. And that's one of the things that I'm incredibly proud about being here, because I understand the impact and the vital services that Kendall County Women's Shelter has on our community. We are always at capacity.
Really?
And that's something that I struggle with, that, you just talked about the stats, right? Like how prevalent is domestic abuse in our community, that we are always at capacity. And I'm so grateful that we have something like this in our community where we are able to help people.
You mentioned you're always capacity. How much is capacity?
Absolutely. So Kendall County Women's Shelter opened in 2012, the shelter itself. It is a 7,000 square foot, I like to refer to it as a home. We have 9 bedrooms, and we serve over 30 people daily.
Okay. And men?
And men, absolutely. So we serve men, women, individuals, families, and their pets.
Right.
So what a lot of people don't know is we are part of the 15% nationwide, only 15% of emergency shelters that have a pet facility. So when you talk about talking to survivors, right, and how long it took them to leave, you have a good percentage of people who stayed 2 years longer than they should have because they didn't have a safe place to go with their pet.
Right. And I couldn't leave Fido there.
Absolutely. And that's what happens is when pets are left behind, or even during the relationship, pets are used
as a punishment.
They're often threatened, harmed, killed. And I can't imagine, I would do anything for my pets, right? On a daily basis. They're extremely spoiled. And so I can't imagine being in a position where I have to choose between my own safety and my pet's safety.
Yeah. Wow. When you sit down with the women at the intake, how long does it take them to open up? When they get to you, are they ready to sprawl it all, or does it take a while to where they feel comfortable and then they lay it on the line? What's that?
It really, like I said, everybody's situation, even though it's abuse, right? Everybody's situation is so different and so personal. And so it really just depends on the person. And when we do an intake, we really do try to give them time to decompress. But that's one of the amazing things is that we have caseworkers, we have counselors. We provide everything. A lot of the people that come to us literally come to us with nothing.
Yeah.
And so we give them that time to decompress, and then we start working on what are you trying to do, what are your needs.
Young lady I interviewed, she said she had packed a school backpack.
Absolutely.
And when she fled, she couldn't find it. She could not find it. And she said, I didn't have time to look.
Right.
So even when you prepare, sometimes you aren't prepared.
Absolutely.
How long does a woman stay? Is there a time limit? Is it 30 days? Can people stay 6 months? Do you have people there for 12 days and say, hey, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to go back and try to solve my life?
Absolutely. So it can be a couple of days. It can be 30 days. For families who have school-age children, we really try to work with them based on the school year and when they arrive. So it really is dependent on the situation.
When you go home at night and you sit down, how able is Allison Peterson to leave her work at the office?
It is very difficult. And that's something that I'm, learning to have to figure out. But I will say this, that, I've worked for nonprofits for over 15 years, and I've served veterans, I've served people with food insecurities, mentoring programs, and I'm incredibly proud of that. You have to have a servant's heart to do that. But as someone who also knows firsthand what it feels like to have the fear and the isolation and the hopelessness that our clients feel every day, it's a calling to be at Kendall County Women's Shelter and to do the right thing for the shelter and for the people we serve.
Right. My name is Jeff Flinn. I'm the managing editor of the Boerne Star newspaper, and we're here on Boerne Radio. This is the Boerne Brew. My guest today is Allison Peterson. She's the executive director at the Kendall County Women's Shelter. We're talking about some aspects. You've been here since March.
Right.
When you get in and you assemble a new team, and do you assert a new direction? Did you come in with okay, let's see what we got to do right? Because my dad always says there's not strengths and weaknesses. There's strengths and areas you can improve.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would say definitely one of my strengths is, program improvement, project improvement, and processes. But I think anytime you start a new job, that's one of the things you come in and you put your own stamp on it. It's just one of those things that you come in with love and how to figure out how to serve the most people and serve them with the vital services in the best way possible.
You mentioned programming. You also have programming for the non-residential.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I want to stress.
Absolutely.
Is talk about non-residential, and then we're going to get some information out where people, how they can reach out. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So when you think of the shelter, right, you think of somebody who needs an emergency place to stay, and we do provide that. But we also provide non-residential services. So you may be someone who has family or a friend you can stay with or your own income, but you still need all of the resources that we provide. So counseling, access to legal aid, even, food or transportation, different things. So we definitely provide non-residential services. So if you don't necessarily need a bed, you still have the options to get the support you need.
There may be a couch surfer out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who doesn't know he or she needs
right.
They don't need help, but they don't know it's out there, where to turn. Because I had a friend whose daughter worked at a mattress firm down the street from me. I drove by it every single day, and I was like, where does Sandy work? At the mattress right down by you. I said, where is it? Because I never looked there because I never needed to buy a mattress.
Right.
I didn't know the place existed. I didn't know she worked there.
Right.
I drove by it every day. And that, that's the one thing is we drive by it every day.
Right.
And somebody who's just going through life and all of a sudden life is derailed, they don't know where to look because they've never been derailed before.
Right.
So how do we get people listening to write down, or how do they get in touch with you and your crew?
Well, you can go to our website, KCWSTexas.org. And we have a 24-hour hotline number. You can also call our administrative office at 830-331-8950, and we'll transfer you to the shelter.
Okay, number again, we'll get the folks, write this down. You know, every time you listen, you should have a piece of paper and a pen or what's the app? I've got the app right here, the notepad. Yeah, you should always have the notepad app if you got your phone out. So when there's important numbers to call, because you never know when a friend or a relative, it's like alcoholism is everybody probably knows somebody within their circle of friends or circle of family who might be that.
Absolutely.
And we've all had situations of people have been abused and we don't think about it.
Right.
And then when somebody's couch surfing, she comes over and knocks on the door and says, hey, I need a place to stay. You say, well, come on and have the couch. And she's laying on your couch. And you're sitting there saying, God, what do I do?
Right.
What do I do? So give us those numbers again.
So our admin office is 830-331-8950.
Okay.
And you can call us Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 p.m. and we'll transfer you to the shelter. And then if you visit our website at KCWS Texas, TEXAS spelled out, .org. And we also have a 24-hour hotline number.
Yep, the 24-hour hotline number, 800-495-8078. So the 24-hour hotline, folks, write this down, 800-495-8078. There we go.
Thank you.
Yep. Allison, you're always at capacity. What do you do when you're at capacity and here comes the woman with 5 kids?
So we actually have an incredible network of other shelters that we work with.
Okay.
We are constantly communicating with each other, trying to make sure that someone that needs a spot has a spot. So we will do everything that we can to help you find a place to go, whether it's with us or someone else.
Just some stats that, again, it just boggles my mind. About 40 million women reported being slapped, pushed, or shoved 2015 to 2019. 40 million. Slightly more than 2 in 5 women in the U.S. report experiencing any physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime, 40%. Every minute, 32 people experience intimate partner violence. That's not intimate.
And those stats are so staggering, right? And that's why that is my job, to be out in the community and to talk about this. Boerne is an incredible community, very warm. We have a lot of great attributes, but these things are still happening in our community and to our friends and to our family, right? And so it's my job to get out into the community and talk about these things and let people know that there is the Kendall County Women's Shelter and that we're here to support them. One of my things too is to fundraise and to talk about the needs.
That's what you got to talk about.
Absolutely.
That's how I first met you a couple of weeks ago. You put out the appeal can you talk about that for us?
Right. So nonprofits work incredibly hard all year long to fundraise. And when they're doing that, they're also thinking about the following year, how to prepare for that. Just like a business, right? Like, what does your budget look like? How can you grow? How many people you can serve and what kind of programs you can provide. And that's where we're at. I just started in March.
Right. And
I kind of make the joke that I got here and the shelter itself said, oh, great, you're here. Now I can start breaking. People forget what it costs to operate.
Right.
And so you're talking about 30 plus people in this home every day. We're providing food, clothing, feminine products, paper towels, toilet paper.
And staff 24 hours. The
24
unit
hour
staff 24 hours.
Absolutely. The utilities, the water. We have 12 air conditioning units, 2 commercial size water heaters, the pet facility. I mean, it really is an incredible facility that is doing everything we can to not just create life-changing stories, but life-saving stories.
Right.
And that costs money. And so that's why I'm really trying to, like I said, get out in the community and educate people about what we're doing and what it costs to do it, because it's important.
Folks, if you're part of a civic organization, if you're the Sunrise Club or the VFW, you need a speaker right here, Allison Peterson.
I would love to come and speak to you.
Call her up and say, hey, would you like to come deliver your spiel for us and inform
Absolutely.
us? I think it's an eye-opener. When we had the Hill Country Family Services, when they start talking about their numbers, it just boggles your mind that all this stuff takes place in Boerne. But Boerne is not this isolated, mistake-free, problem-free community. We'd like to think we are, but that's not so.
Right. And we serve Kendall and surrounding counties, so I want to make sure that we say that too. Like I said, we work with a network of other shelters. So, when we get a call from a shelter that says, I'm here with my client, their abuser has found them, do you have a space?
Right.
We're going to do that.
Wow.
Right? And they're going to do that for us too. And so that's what's important to understand, is that we are not only serving Kendall County, we're serving the surrounding counties as well. Really anybody who is a survivor of domestic abuse.
How many people come in 8:05 a.m. or 7 a.m. in the morning because they wake up and they made the decision, versus how many flee in the middle of the night when the sun goes down and the partner falls asleep, and so they get out the window?
It's both. It's absolutely both. And that's one of the things, like we talked about, that we work around the clock. We are doing intakes at any time, morning, day, and night. So it's really just the personal situation.
Let's repeat those numbers. I'm going to repeat these, folks. So if you know of, if you're experiencing that, if you have a relative, a family member, somebody at church, one of your PTA partners at school, those people aren't exempt from having abusive situations. 1-800-495-8078. And Allison, what's the number at the shelter where they can get a hold of you?
830-331-8950 is the number to our administrative office.
And like I said, folks, if you need a speaker, right here. If you're looking for a program and you think, who can we get? We've got the mayor here. Now we've got the judge here already. Get Allison Peterson, have her come in and tell you about the statistics that she faces on a regular basis and help her get the word out. What are some ways that you actively campaign or actively bring word to people? What are some things you can do?
Be a good steward of Kendall County Women's Shelter and of our community. And it's really, like I said, it's about being educated, taking the time to learn. And when either somebody comes to you with a situation, you are aware of us and you know how to help them get in touch with us. Or if there's somebody who is saying, I'd like to donate to a nonprofit and I don't know a worthy nonprofit, being a steward, it's always somebody who knows somebody, right? And word of mouth is an incredible compliment to the hard work that we do every day.
Do you have any partners that you would like to mention? Say, we really want to thank Boerne Radio and Boerne Star, whomever. Are there partners out in the community that deserve a tip of the hat?
Absolutely. And the list is incredibly long.
Okay, start. We've got like 24 minutes. We get everybody in.
That's right. Like I said, I started here in March, and everybody has been so incredible, warm and positive, and asking how can I help, and it's really been amazing. And that's a testament to Boerne itself.
Right.
But Golfers for Others has been over there doing some projects for us.
Okay.
And Frost Bank recently donated quite a substantial donation yesterday.
Great.
And of course to Boerne Star, y'all have done interviews with us twice.
Sure.
And to Boerne Radio and all the other nonprofits in Boerne have really stepped in and just said, hey, how can we partner together,
right,
and what are your needs? So like I said, the list is incredibly long, especially every individual donor. Whether you've given $25 or $1,000, every dollar
counts.
is an incredible gift, and we don't take that lightly.
Right. The voice you hear that's not mine, the female voice here for us today is Allison Peterson. She's with the Kendall County Women's Shelter. She's the new executive director since March. We're talking about all things domestic abuse that occur, that bring people to her. Abuse keeps you busy.
Absolutely.
And we're not, Boerne and Kendall County and Bandera County and Kerr County, we're not immune to the problems of physical, psychological, financial, religious. There are so many different things that tend to go to violence. What percent of the people there now, what percentage have received non-physical violence?
the good question. Out of our non-residential services, 58% is through Kendall County.
Talk about non-residential, what that means for people in Boerne and Kendall County listening. What is a non-residential client?
Right. So non-residential clients are people who may not need a bed or a place to go. They have a place to go or family or support or their own income, but they still need all of the other resources and support that we provide. So counseling, case management, legal aid, all of those different things. So we provide residential, where people are staying with us, and non-residential services.
Okay. Okay.
And we do group and individual counseling.
Okay. Yeah, because, sometimes people get out of an abusive situation and 3 weeks later they miss that guy and they want to go back. And it's I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. I'm sorry, it should never happen again. Boom, it happens again. So there's probably that you've got to deal with as well, is removing the source of the pain, or having the young lady or the young man or whomever your client is, let them realize, hey, you came here for a reason, and we need you to stay away from the reason you came here.
Right. And just like you talked about earlier, you think Kendall County Women's Shelter, you think a bed, you think physical abuse, right? We all have our perception of what that means. But it really is holistic care.
Okay.
And that is needed to break the cycle of domestic abuse.
Right.
And that includes the counseling, all of the different things, job readiness, helping people get copies of their IDs, their birth certificates, all of the things that they unfortunately left without because they left quickly.
Right.
And so it really is about holistic care in order to break the cycle.
We mentioned earlier, some of these women come from a situation where they don't have access to money. They don't have access to a car. The spouse,
their partner,
controls their friendship, the friends they see, where they go. He'll take them shopping because they might run into somebody. So, there's a job. If I'm going to flee, how am I going to get money? Where am I going to work?
Right.
So there's so many different aspects to it. Some of these figures, folks, around 70% of fatal victims of domestic violence are women. 24% of female homicide victims were killed by a spouse or ex-spouse. Nearly 4 women were murdered by 2019. The figure, just 7 years ago. Think how that number's probably changed. Nearly 4 women were murdered daily by intimate partners. Wow. Every minute, 32 people experience intimate partner violence in the United States. 1 in 4 men in the United States will have endured severe physical violence from an intimate partner in their lifetime. Over 47% of women have encountered contact sexual violence, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetime. Those are just figures that just blows my mind. I can't realm that. If I raised my hand to my wife, my mother-in-law would come after me. That would be all she wrote. So listen, Allison, thanks for coming in. If you have an organization, you have an agency, you have a group that's always looking for outside speakers, Kendall County Women's Shelter, Allison Peterson, the executive director, is exactly who you want. Allison, give us a number again where they can call you and say, yeah, I heard that radio thing. There's a woman there that can come and speak to our group.
Absolutely. So my name is Allison Peterson, and I'm the executive director of Kendall County Women's Shelter. Please call our admin office at 830-331-8950. I'd love to talk to you about Kendall County Women's Shelter and our mission and how you can support us.
And we'll go off the air with one more time, repeating the 24-hour domestic abuse hotline, which is 1-800-495-8078. So, Allison, thanks for coming in. Folks, thanks for tuning in. God bless, and have a great weekend, Bernie. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.